Hi YouTube, my name is Christopher Lachey of C.W. Lachey Law. I'm an attorney here in North Carolina, and what you're about to watch is a presentation done at a town hall on Second Amendment rights in North Carolina, as well as certain federal laws. All right, so responsibilities of firearm being stolen, used in crime, negligent injury. I have my guns locked up because I have a child. A lot of people have their firearms not locked up and they have children. If you keep your firearms in your closet and your child is walking, they'll find your firearms. It is a Class 2 misdemeanor to allow child access to firearms under the age of 12 without permission. It's also just a bad idea. Give you an example of perhaps your child you've got a son or daughter, they go hunting with you, they're 13 years old. Here's your rifle, we go hunting together, you go back, take that rifle, and then you lock up that rifle. You trust your child, do you trust their friends? That's the problem that happens with a lot of negligent injury and firearms being stolen. In a situation like Sandy Hook, in which the mother was killed and the firearms were stolen, if she had been alive, if she had survived, because the firearms were locked up, you can only be expected to do so much. If you have locked up your firearms, you've secured them, if someone finds and steals the key, that's not enough to bring a charge against you for making firearms available to those that should not have them. That's not sufficient. They might try and bring you the charge, but it's going to fail in court. If you just leave your gun on the nightstand and you've got a 5-year-old that likes to run around the house, if you leave your gun under the mattress, under your side of the bed, just in case there's a home invader and you want to reach in under the mattress to shoot at the home invader, it's a crime to do that. It's a crime, and it's dangerous to do it as well. So the best thing you can do, get a little lock, get a gun lock, put it in a safe, put it in a little hand safe. That's fine. A little bit of a code. You can leave it on your nightstand, but use a code. It's just if you leave yourself open for firearms to be taken by your children, or more likely your children's friends. Oh, I know Tommy. Tommy's dad, he's got guns all over the place. He's got this glass cabinet. It just slides right open. They're going to go take your guns. They'll take your guns, they'll go commit a crime with it. And now you're looking at accessory before the fact. Accessory before the fact can be a legal fiction in which you, as someone that just happened to exist, you had the firearms. You are now charged with the same crime as the person that stole the firearms and committed the crime. If you make your guns available, you don't lock them up, and someone takes them, someone that you allow into your house and give access to them, they take them, they go out and they commit a murder. Accessory before the fact, you could stand trial for murder, just like the person that stole your guns. Oh, Your Honor, I had no idea who was going to take them. What precautions did you take to stop people from stealing your firearms? We're not saying they have to be under plates of steel. They don't have to be in a gun safe. They could be in a cabinet that has been, to the best of your ability, locked up. But when you allow these things to slide, and you know that there are people that are in and out of your house that have access to these, you make yourself an accessory before the fact. The same thing goes for if you have firearms and you have roommates. If I have a roommate that is an ex-felon, might have been a drug charge, might have been 7 years ago, drug charge, non-violent, he's still not allowed to have a firearm. But if I just leave my guns out, I just leave them on my ottoman or something, that's just where I leave them when I'm cleaning them, and I'm going to take that other one to the gunsmith later. That felon would have what's called constructive possession. Constructive possession, another legal fiction. He has access to the firearm as if he was you. The exact same thing goes for you're driving a car. You get pulled over by the police. They say this one comes up as stolen, and turns out that was a mistake. but they do a search of the vehicle and, oh, there's cocaine in the trunk. You can't turn to the cop and say, oh, this is my wife's car. That doesn't count. You have constructive possession. You are possessing that cocaine just like the original owner is. They don't know who actually had the cocaine. They don't know who actually has the gun. They just know that you have access to it and that you've also granted access by leaving them out negligently. I don't want to sound like I'm chiding people. I don't know how you lock up your firearms or how you secure them, but if you have children, if you have people that are in and out of your house, if you have roommates, you have to take this step because North Carolina will not play around. You can be charged with accessory before the fact and stand trial for murder, aggravated assault, assault with a deadly weapon, any number of things. It could be your grandkid. He just happened to take that old Derringer that you use. He's just for practicing in the backyard, but he takes it to school and he thinks he's being cool and he fires it at the school. Even if he doesn't hurt anybody, you're going to be hauled into jail. You're going to be hauled into the station, you're going to be questioned, you're going to be charged, and you might go to jail. A situation in which use of a crime, so playing off of the theft of the firearm. If the firearm is stolen and then used in the commission of a crime, you're probably not going to get that firearm back. It's going to take a while to get it back, actually, if at all. Because until an actual case has been completely resolved, no more mistrials, no more continuances, no more appeals. That firearm stays as part of the investigation. Remember earlier on when I said all of your firearms will be confiscated from your house if the shooting is done in a situation such as your house where the cops say, we don't know which of these 9 firearms were used, we have to confiscate all of them. Every single one of them will be confiscated by the police until the end of the investigation. It's not a civil forfeiture. It's not illegal. It's just part of the investigation. And it's something that you make yourself open to when you don't secure your firearms. In the off chance that you actually get your firearms back years later, the ones involved in the shooting will come back with 2 serial numbers etched on it, usually on the barrel and on the receiver. This is a totally separate serial number. This is put on by law enforcement, and this is for tracking the movements of this pistol. The next time you get pulled over and you have this pistol and you give it to the officer, he's going to immediately know what those markings mean. He's going to run the numbers. All right, this was used in a shooting back in 2013, 3 people dead. Turns out you bought it from somebody. You didn't know what those serial numbers meant. Someone just sold you a firearm that was used in the commission of a murder. And now you have to talk to the officer about how you came into possession of this firearm. It's just a long, hard road that we as gun owners face, and it's something we have to be mindful of every day we go out. Every firearm that we have, every time we carry, every time we walk past a park, every time we decide not to eat at a restaurant because they are not gun friendly, every time I don't go to Target because I can't take my firearm in there. They don't have security at Target. Not the kind that would handle an active shooter. Not that I would engage an active shooter myself, but give me a fighting chance. Let me get out with my family. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, like and subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. You can also get my contact information in the description below. My firm is also on Facebook. There are many more video talks to come in the future, so stay tuned.